Welcome back. Nearly 60 years later, there are fears that a large part of history surrounding the JFK assassination could soon go away. The concerns come as new development is taking place right near downtown Dallas. The owner, in fact, of the Oswald Boarding House, where JFK's alleged killer had lived, tells our Ken Molestina that she is doing everything she can, everything possible, to keep that historic house standing.
The TV set was there, and it still works.
Oh, wow. Inside the Oswald Boarding House in Oak Cliff, where Lee Harvey Oswald was one of several tenants on November 22, 1963, it's as if time just froze. To date, the original furniture in the house and in Oswald's small room still sits the same as it did 6 decades ago.
Yeah, this would be a walk-in closet.
And by today's standards.
Yeah.
But back then, 60 years ago, this is the room he rented for $8?
$8. $8 a week. This is the original bed that he slept on.
Pat Hall was 11 years old when Oswald lived here and rented the room from her grandmother. Hall is the current owner and has worked diligently to preserve the house as a museum of sorts over the years. These days, what lurks outside these walls is becoming increasingly concerning to her. New development taking over the old neighborhood.
Do you see a day where the Oswald Boarding House will go away?
I honestly don't know. That is my fear. I am the last of my family members that can actually say, I knew Mr. Lee.
She says the old gas station that belonged to her grandfather and sat just outside the house was recently lost to developers who bought it and razed it. Next door, these apartments have gone up with more of them planned. Hall says developers are constantly trying to buy her out.
How often do these offers come in?
Oh, 2 times a week at least.
In one case, she says a developer scoffed at her when she informed him of the historical designation given to a few of these homes.
And he had the gall to look at me and say, this always comes through. And I looked at him and I said, good luck, Charlie. He was not able to buy.
Hall admits she won't be around to look after the house forever, but while she can, she's vowed to fend off any developer that comes her way.
But unless the right person comes, I absolutely will not sell to a flipper.
The right person, according to her, is someone who will carry the work of preserving the historic value of what this house represents. Hall is convinced there's another side to the story that can only be told here.
I bring in a different perspective on Mr. Lee. I put a face to him. I put his heart into him.
By now, you can probably tell that she doesn't believe the findings presented in the Warren Report, the official record naming Lee Harvey Oswald as JFK's killer.
My research shows that he most likely did not fire a single shot that day, that he was set up. I am passionate about preserving this house, this building, this history.
A story forever ingrained in both American culture and in conspiracy. In Oak Cliff, Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.